I think we may have done it. Let's find out. Of course, we're starting out with executive producer Sir LX Protocol V2 Knight of the Berean Protocol. Yes, of course, comes in with $100 and 33 cents.
Illuminatus!
Technically, he came in for the flyby as well, so we're going to bump up that streak to 248 episodes in a row with a whopping 44 episode executive producer streak.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Sir Alex Protocol V2 now the Berean Protocol, continuing to astonish not only myself, but the whole Canarium. And again, if this is some sort of prank, keep it going. It's hilarious. Thank you.
Hilarious prank from Sir Alex Protocol V2.
Yeah, I know how I'll get those guys. I'm going to executive produce every show for like 4 months. That'll get them. That'll show them. Next up, we have... yeah, we did. Okay. You want to thank Alex Protocol for his producership?
Yes, absolutely.
Where'd you find this?
Sorry, I got staring like a deer.
This time. No, it's okay. I actually remembered this time.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got a returning producer. We have executive producer Gary H.
Gary, good to hear from you, Gary.
Gary's back. I was trying to find out if Gary was knighted or not. I could not figure it out, but thank you very much, Gary. It's great to hear from you.
Gary was a guest on Canary Cry Radio years ago.
Very active producer for a long, long time. Thank you very much, executive producer Gary H. By the way, I forgot to mention it. All these executive producers are getting the option to receive the Canary Cry calendar. Remember, we're back. We're down to the past last 2 days. 2 days to secure your Canary Cry calendar. You can do that 2 ways. Sign up for the supply drop or the Babysitters Club by going to canarycrybabysittersclub.com.
Babysitters Club.
That's right. That's the way you can support the show on a monthly basis with a guarantee that that money is going to pay for a babysitter. And man, oh man, we're not going to reveal the surprise yet, but looks like we're going to get to start out the year with some semblance of sanity thanks to the Babysitters Club.
We shall see.
Babysitters Club will receive the calendar in their first supply drop that comes in, or you can executive produce the show for the month of December. Every executive producer for this month will get the option to receive the calendar, or they can pass it on to the Pass It On program, where they say, hey, I don't need the calendar, or maybe I'm already going to get one, so pass my calendar onto the Pass It Forward program. If you receive our emails, there is a button for you to sign up to the Canary Cry Calendar Pass It Forward program, where every executive producer who is passing forward their calendar will that calendar will go to the people on the Pass It Forward program. It's limited supply. It's first come, first serve, but go get on it. It's in your email box in the newsletter. Other than that, so that's the deal. That's what's going on here. Thank you, Gary H., for your executive producership.
Where'd you find this?
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, and by the way, because the next episode is January 1st, you can still come in the next 2 days if you want to secure your calendar. It's the most important object that is created surrounding this show. We have nothing to do with it. It's been a now 4-year-long process of some brilliant producers led by Dame Epony Blaze. We get original art for each month. The calendar is chock-a-block full of important dates and anniversaries for secret societies, UFOs, military stuff, all the stuff that we pay attention to on the show, as well as important dates for the show. Isn't that fun? Okay, there's all that. I should have said that before. And now we're thanking the next person who executive produced in response to the call of the Sentinel, and that is executive producer David W.
David W., thank you.
David W., thank you very much. Comes in with a nice round number, so we won't disclose it on the show. But he has a note here that says, I miss the dinosaur noises. We need more dinosaur noises. Oh my gosh, the dinosaur noises. That I believe that the dinosaur noises anniversary is on the calendar, if I recall correctly. I could also be wrong about that. But you got a jingle with some dinosaur noises?
It's
What is it called? It's a song called.
It's like a Velociraptor song. That's the noise, right? That's the dinosaur sound.
What's the word? It's called. Oh no, I can't believe it. This was a mainstay of the show. What?
Is it on the calendar?
I think that would be the least sort of efficient way to figure this out.
Remember the name of it? I'm looking in the.
Well, while you do that, I'll give him some live dinosaur noises. Thank you very much, everybody. Those are the velociraptors from the most recent Jurassic World. The sort of weird grunts that communicate. I don't know, whatever raptors are communicating.
If we can remember who made it, it'd be a lot easier for me to find.
It's like, let's see if somebody in the chat has it. I'm trying to think of the words because there's words to the song. It's like, blap, blap.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that good. That was very helpful.
There's Baka. I remember Baka.
Yeah, there's
I'm not gonna play Baka.
There was something else. What was it?
There's Too Hot. Let's see. There's Bidets.
Hold on. I think I might be able to find it in the email.
It's in your brain. I know it's close.
It's in my brain. I cannot believe, because this is the hard part, because it's titled after the words of the song, not necessarily
dinosaurs. Right.
Search dinosaur noises.
Is it Fun Fact?
Fun Fact. That's what it is.
Goes on for a while. You want to hear the whole thing?
Let the first line go.
Fun fact, I believe it was another fun fact. Fun fact.
Oh, now we got to play the main part. We're just going to play the whole thing. We're going to play the whole thing. Here we go.
Brings me back to my Screamo days.
There you go.
Absolute madness. Absolute madness. But David, for your executive producership, we're happy to do it. There's your dinosaur noises.
Where'd you find this?
Thank you, David W.
Off the top, shout out to Mission Warrior watching on Twitch who remembered the name. And do you know who made that?
Yeah.
Do we have it in the metadata?
I can probably figure it out. Mike. It's labeled Mike. This is a really old track, so we'd have to look up who it was from in the email there, probably.
It was sent in the email. I remember that back when we didn't have our upload. So this is why we now have canarycry.art, where you can go upload your music there, which makes it 1,000 times easier to find.
Turns out a lot of Mikes have emailed us.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mikes on this list, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I can filter it so it has an attachment. That might help. Oh, this is fun. This is good times.
This is good. This is, it's the last one of the year. We got to take it easy.
Sure, I guess.
Dinosaur noises, Mike. Okay, Mike. Right. Let's get this email found. Well, Mike, thank you, Mike.
Let me see.
Please
fact,
email
Mike.
us and let us know. We are. This is also our pledge for 2024 is to name our files better so that we can find them and also thank the people who make them.
Yeah.
All right.
We need an entire team to help us manage this chaos that is the back room.
We can get a team. There's people out there ready to join the team.
Yeah.
2024 is the Canary Cry year of getting our act together because producers are ready. They want to be a part of something big. They want to play a small role in something bigger than all of us. And some of that is administration, people naming files, correct things. Thank you. executive producer David W.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Next up, we got executive producer Jamie G coming in.
Jamie G, thank you very much.
Jamie G coming in for $380.08. 38008.
Huh.
Maybe this is a fun calculator joke.
There might be. Yes. Yeah. I didn't want to mention it, but since you brought it up, that could be it.
Jamie G also joins the T-shirt council.
Ah, very good.
So he'll be one of the illustrious members of the most important people in the world, the T-shirt council members who vote on the quarterly Canary Cry T-shirt and then receive it as reward for being this sort of in a secret society of T-shirt deciders. Jamie G comes in. His note is funny. You know how internet people create little pictures,
images
like emoticons, but they use Japanese characters and stuff to make a little scene.
Yeah.
Well, he did that of a little guy who's flipping a table, which is very well done. He's flipping a table and it says, "How I feel this holiday season. Also, couldn't find the button to pay the calendar forward. There is no button to pay it forward, but you're letting us know now. I received mine, and it is awesome." He got that through the supply drop. "I would love to pass it on any more I may receive to a Canarian in need. Mucho amor." Thank you very much, Jamie G. I will make note of that. All of your executive producerships will now be put towards the calendar. I think you at least have 2 of them on there. So,
all right. Thank you,
Thank
Jamie
you very
G.
much, executive producer Jamie G.
Where'd you find this?
That's canarycrytshirtcouncil.com. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Also, we can't remember if Jamie was knighted or not. If not, Jamie, you have got to be getting close here. So start thinking about a knight name.
Yep.
Next up, we've got some snail mail, Gons. Some snail mail executive producers.
Yep. Let's see. This first one comes from the Andrews family.
Yay.
Yeah. It was a check for a amount that I will not disclose. There was no note, so thank you for that.
Nice round number.
Yeah, appreciate
no note.
it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Andrews family.
Where'd you find this?
Yeah, we got that P.O. box up, so if anybody wants to
taking
send
advantage of the P.O. box. Yeah, some people like the snail mail. They like to send us cool stuff. And do you know it off the top of your head? You want to put it out there just for the record?
The actual address? Yeah, I need to memorize it. I have not memorized it. It's like 5, 6 something. It's on the website. Let me pull it up.
It's on canarycry.support.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up here. Let's see.
Very important detail with this is if you are sending something to the P.O. box, just a reminder, you have to put Gonza's name on it.
Yeah.
You don't need to put it on the stuff inside the package, but the address needs to be to Gonzo Shimura.
Yeah. Gonzo Shimura. P.O. Box 5681, Oceanside, California 92052. That's the P.O. box. I'm going to have to memorize that because even when I go to the thing, I got to pull out my phone and look it up, and I got to,
figure out which one's
figure out what's going on. Yep. So yes, we got another snail mail thing here from Sir Rightfoot Joy Wrangler of Wiggle Wagons. Thank you very much for everything that was sent there, including a cash gift that qualifies him as a executive producer for this episode. He has a note here. You said you've made my parents' dreams come true. Talking about the PhD in media deconstruction here. However, you, Gons, were the one that put in the work. I may have put up the money, but it was the work of your hands that inspired me to be so generous. Face Like the Sun and Canary Cry have helped me have a better biblical worldview, and in this day and age, a biblical worldview is valuable. You spent years developing the Canary Cry ministry. I spent some of my money for a piece of paper that proves that all your hard work meant something to some guy you've never met in person. I'm not the only one whose life you have touched. Your work has impacted thousands of people, so on behalf of all of us whom your work has improved and uplifted our lives, thank you, Sir Rightfoot Joy Wrangler of Wiggle Wagons. And there's a signed his signature and a lovely picture of his family that includes Isaac, Julie, and Now I was trying to figure out how to pronounce this name. I think it's Kate Rian. Katerian. I considered Katie Rian or Caterian, but I think it's Kate Rian. But I could be wrong. Anyway, thank you to the entire family there. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
They sent the certificate here, so I have it. It says, well, actually, I think I have a picture of it to show on the actual screen too. But yeah, it just says, no agenda show. Upon recommendation of the council of the No Agenda Show, we have conferred upon Gonzo Shimura for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in recognition of achievements in amygdala shrinking by advancing studies in media deconstruction. And I mean, it looks pretty official, I got to say.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, and thank you to the whole family there because they sent the frame, an actual frame to put it in.
Very nicely framed.
As well as some extra gifts, some cars and some John Deere little toys of tractors and stuff. My son has been obsessed with them. So thank you. Appreciate it
Cute.
For the executive producership.
Where'd you find this?
That's very special. Thank you, Sir Rightfoot Joy Wrangler of the Wiggle Wagons. What a special little package to come in.
Appreciate it.
I have my diploma came in as well, but it's in a envelope on the other side of the room. It's not within arm's reach. So someday I'll show it off.
Shows how you truly feel about it.
Yeah, it's hidden.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next up, we got executive producer Brandon W.
Brandon W. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Brandon W. had a little bit of a confusing number. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's the fault of PayPal. I believe Brandon W. came in for 11111.
11111. We don't technically have a 11111 button.
No, just
we have 1111.
Give him 1111.
Okay.
There we go. And Brandon W. sent in, executive producer Brandon W. sent in a thing here, a note.
Yeah.
It says, he might be making a little bit of a Bible scholar joke here, but it says, in parentheses, James, it says, John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, I give unto you. Let your heart not be troubled, neither let it be afraid. God bless Basil, Ghani, and all the Canarium. Happy New Year.
Hey,
Ooh,
thank you very much.
Happy New Year. I know there's some people out there who have taken issue with the Happy New Year.
You pagan
holiday. Yeah.
You pagan warlock.
Brandon W. must be old school, man, because he knew Ghani.
Yeah, that's really old school.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, executive producer Brandon W.
Where'd you find this?
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, and I think as the world turns, as we were doing this segment here, I think we had one last executive producer come through, making sure we round out the call of the Sentinel to get 10 executive producers by the end of the month. And here it is. We're going to thank executive producer Teresa Y.
Teresa Y. Thank you very much.
Y. Thank you very much, Teresa Y. And I do not see a note. It's a nice round number. Really appreciate it. Teresa Y.
Where'd you find this?
Okay. And that's it. That is the end of the list of the executive producers for episode 701. Last episode of the year. Thank you all very much for your support.
8 executive producers today. Amazing.
Yeah. Big deal.
Yeah,
Big deal.
We should start taking more weeks off. I joke.
Well, like I said, I mean, I think, this was end of the year. It was episode 700.
Yeah.
It was the call of the Sentinel.
Yeah.
Who knows what we would have gotten if the Sentinel had not challenged his fellow producers. The calendar, of course, is always a good reason to executive produce the show. But you know what? It really makes a huge difference on not just our financial situation going into the next year, that will make a big difference on how we're able to plan for the year, but also just emotionally. It's a cheery time of year.
Yeah.
It just makes us feel good to end the year strong, gives us a little boost of motivation for 2024. Okay. And that's it. We'll have some other producers to thank later, but I think it's time we get back to the news guns.
Let's do it. And we shall continue with a Flippy update.
Flippy update.
Whoa. Let's try that again.
Wow.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
That's right. It's time for the Flippy update. Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, flirting with our spouses, and now murdering our friends.
No.
We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the news over the world and how there is nothing we can do about it. This is coming from DailyMail.com, and it's Daily Mail, so it's a nice paragraph headline here. It says, Tesla robot attacks, all caps, attacks an engineer at company's Texas factory during violent malfunction, leaving trail of blood and forcing workers to hit emergency shutdown button.
Sounds terrible.
I think the end, well, first of all, the whole thing is ludicrous. I mean, it's just a beautiful construction of, I don't know,
headline
syntax about how the robot is going rogue and attacking people and is being violent and leaving a trail of blood, which is hilarious. But forcing workers to hit emergency shutdown button.
It sounds more panicky. Yeah.
Yeah. How at all does that belong in that headline?
Hey, man.
Yeah, it was a murderous robot that left a trail of blood and was attacking people at will. And so they had to turn it off. Oh. It will kill. A Tesla engineer was attacked by a robot. Now, obviously, just to mention it, the word attack is sort of key here because we've seen robots in factories hurt people.
Yeah.
Kill people. Kill people, yeah. A person was killed when a malfunction robot. A person was injured when they got too close to a robot or whatever. We've seen this. But because it's Elon, and because it's Tesla, and because it's 2023, a Tesla engineer was attacked by a robot during a brutal and bloody malfunction at the company's Giga Texas factory near Austin.
All right.
Watch out, Texas. We've got, what we're getting here is war correspondence about a factory accident.
Yeah.
Which I think is notable here. Two witnesses watched in horror as their fellow employee was attacked by the machine designed to grab and move freshly cast aluminum car parts. Okay, so they watched in horror. Were they filming? What was the deal?
Were they streaming on Instagram? Come on.
If they're just watching, they might as well.
Yeah.
If they're not going to do anything, they might
You're
as well
going to get thousands of followers. You do that.
Yeah. The robot had pinned the man who was then programming software for two disabled Tesla robots nearby. He was there, a good-hearted man. He was helping two injured robots when brutally attacked by this criminal before sinking its metal claws into the worker's back and arm, leaving a trail of blood along factory surface.
Oh, my gosh.
The incident,
I said, oh, my gosh. That sounds horrific.
Business. The incident, which left the victim with an open wound on his left hand.
I thought, what happened to his back?
Yeah.
I thought the back was. I'm picturing, like a cat coming down, claws, and then the guy going to and then workers watching in horror,
sinking its metal claws into the worker's back and arm, which left him with an open wound on his hand. But it was revealed in a 2021 injury report filed to Travis County and federal regulators, which has been reviewed by DailyMail.com. Where's the video? Prove it. While no other robot-related injuries were reported to regulators by Tesla at the Texas factory, okay, it's a one-off, folks.
One-off from 2 years ago?
2021 or 2022, the incident comes amid years of heightened concerns over the risks of automated robots in the workplace.
Okay.
Now, look, folks, you're all very educated on robots. That's the beauty of the Flippy update, keeping all Canary Cry listeners ahead of literally even the experts on robots. Robotic arms in car factories is as old as the hills. This was like the very first implementation of robotic arms was in car factories. This is not some new fancy thing. This is not some, robotic revolution of having robotic arms in car factories. This is like the wagon wheel of robotic arms.
Yeah.
Then it goes into reports of increased injuries due to robotic coworkers at Amazon shipment centers. Got to throw them in. Killer droid surgeons, self-driving cars, and even violence from robotic chess instructors have led some to question speedy integration of the new tech. The injury report, which Tesla must submit to authorities by law to maintain its lucrative tax breaks in Texas, claimed the engineer did not require time off work. So after this brutal attack, getting stabbed in the back with claws, leaving an, quote, open wound in his hand, he didn't even have to take any time off work.
You got it all wrong. He just got upgraded by the robot, Basil.
Yeah, he's been integrated into the factory. Is what he is. He's permanently affixed to the robotic arm, so he can more efficiently program other robotic arms. So, other than being a great example, now, okay, so Flippy update, it's not just about what new robots there are. It's what the media, how the media is propagandizing people for whatever purposes in relation to robots and our technocratic future. They say the facts. The fact is, he got a scratch or a cut on his hand, and he didn't even have to take time off work. Very mild. Look, we've all gotten a scratch on our hand from an overly ambitious robotic arm. Okay, that's nothing new.
It's been happening since the 60s. And to your point, just real quick, just to add, we did a whole article breakdown. We got to find it. I think you were out during this episode. It was a couple years ago, but we did I read an article for the Flippy update that talked about Unimate, which was the robot arm that was created in the late 50s. There's a whole story about these two guys, I think George Duvall and Joseph Engelberger. They were at a bar or something, and they started talking, and then they developed the robot arm. It was the first programmable robot arm for industrial purposes. It was patented in 1961, and then General Motors started using it in 1962. So to your point, it literally is like the first thing when, technology came to a certain point in the 60s. So, 40, 60 years ago is when a programmable robot arm first made way in a car factory. So, for DailyMail to lead this thing with Tesla robot attacks, I'm thinking one of his his bots that they're, what are they called? The droids or whatever they're planning to release?
About his Optimus droid or something.
Yeah, that thing. I thought that attacked somebody. So that I think that'll be sort of the next iteration. Humanoid robots attacking other humans. An arm, yeah, okay. I think people can kind of see the dangers.
People get hurt by these robots all the time.
Yeah, it's not going to really be a problem until a human-formed robot really goes after.
And these are not autonomous arms. These arms are programmed to have a very specific motion to pick up a thing and put the thing in the other place. This is not AI. This is not, some sentient robotic arm taking out a vendetta, which is what the Daily Mail is saying. They are
attack.
Outright
the word attack.
Lying. Right. This is straight up a lie.
Something. Yeah.
Now, what's the point? The point is this. The facts are the guy cut his hand and didn't miss any work. They spend some time alleging that there's, that robots are getting murdered at the Tesla factory like every year.
What?
Even though
robots are getting murdered? Or robots are murdering?
Robots are murdering.
Okay.
Robots are murdering people at this Tesla factory every year. And then they'll turn around and say, but there's no evidence to show this. But it's happening. There's
there was
this
a
other
police
guy,
report. Yeah.
There's a guy who died of heat stroke during the construction of the building, and they're saying, "Oh, what if it wasn't heat stroke? What if he got killed by a robot? Oh, Tesla." So this is part of this sort of anti-Elon thing, and it goes it's a very long article. It's like 100 paragraphs or something crazy.
Yeah,
but the point is, besides just clickbait, I think what we're seeing is signaling a 2024 part of the PSYOP, which is to build up the fear of robots. So far, throughout this year, last year, forever, for years now, it's, we'll report on somebody getting hurt by a robot, but the person was in the wrong place in the wrong time, and they entered the safety cage, and blah blah blah. It is dangerous, but it's not the robot's fault. Robots, we need them, we love them, we want them in our homes, and everything. They'll work out the kinks, and it'll be fine. But now I'm kind of getting the signal that 2024 is the time to turn around the signaling on the robots. Since we've spent a decade now psyoping ourselves into letting the robots into every part of our lives, running our restaurants, taking care of our elderly, doing everything. Now might be the time to start the fear campaign. Yeah. Why? Well, I think part of it is because Elon says he will be putting out his humanoid robot next year. Yeah. Now, he said that about Cybertruck, and it took him like 20 years to do it. So who knows if it's actually going to happen or not. But the moment is now to switch the propaganda to straight up fear about not, kill bots on the Chinese border, not drones in Ukraine or Russia, but, the robots in the places of work, in your houses. We must build up the fear because we can't have Elon benefiting from all of our positive robot propaganda.
And it would make sense that the Elon being the central pivot point where, again, robot arms in general have been parts of, and robotics in general has been part of construction lines for a long time.
Forever.
So, yeah, it's really the propaganda here, the media shaping how we ought to feel about that is shifting. I think you're right. We did see, we saw a lot of robot apologetics for the last few years. There was some reporting on the fringes about the Amazon factories and things of that nature. But it really, they took that model and drove it into hyperdrive with Elon and Tesla. I do think that it's got to do with not wanting people to advance in certain, not advance, maybe that's not the right word, but be able to manufacture.
I may have decoded it just now.
Okay, do it.
So why do this? Okay. Well, it goes on almost at the end of the article. It says, while Tesla might be an outlier in terms of injuries within the automotive industry, the company is right at home in the Lone Star State, which ranks as the most deadly place to be a construction worker in the U.S. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, construction workers in Texas were 22% more likely to die on the job in Texas than anywhere else in the country. Quote, a construction worker dies every 3 days in Texas, Alexander told DailyMail. The impetus for Tesla coming to Texas, based on other reporting, was that the company was not pleased with having the health and safety protections that California had at the time. Blah, blah, blah. I think it might be setting the stage for Optimus, for the Tesla humanoid robot to, or any robot maybe, to start working in construction, to get humans out of the factories altogether.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
That's what
construction
workers all go home. You keep dying. Stop it. Now we got these humanoid robots. They can do the construction. They don't die of heat stroke. They don't get attacked by each other. We gotta cancel all construction workers and get robots into construction.
The people that will benefit from robots on a large scale are probably the same people that are trying to get everybody afraid of robots Because if you're afraid of him, it'd be much easier for people to not want to stay or leave or choose something else.
Work around them.
But if it's something that is benefiting, if you can empower the individuals how to use robotic arms, which I think is your position, is it not? To not so much fear them.
I
but
love them. I want them to cradle me, cradle me, take me
it's
into
a whole
the
different
future.
thing. But it's a metaphor for everything. It's a metaphor for guns. It's a metaphor for horses. It's just it's the same thing where it's like, okay, are you facilitating empowerment or are you facilitating disarmament, basically?
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
I think it is another brick in the wall of getting people out of factories altogether.
Yeah.
It's sure, maybe you need to make a living, you need to support your family, but we can't let you do that. It's too dangerous.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
The robots are already there and you can't go in there. We just need other robots to build the buildings, need other robots to build the robots. You're out of here, Buster Brown.
think we could see that this calls for a big false flag event. You can have a major situation where robots do something, kill a bunch of people
as if
in a factory.
This wasn't one already. Just robot attack.
They got the headlines. They have shown that they can sensationalize anything, so it doesn't have to be much more than this. I mean, it could be anything. It could be somebody actually breaking an arm or something, and that'll be enough to get all the headlines going. But yeah, I can see more any kind of work-related situation, especially death. And that was the other point I wanted to make, is how it is a topic in itself. It's almost like a chapter in a book on media deconstruction, is the use of death as a main component to drive, as much as people say, oh, you religious folks are using hell as this sort of, baton to beat people over the head with, like, oh, you're going to, when you die. But isn't that the same thing with any media reporting? Like death, the fear of death being sort of the ultimate tool to get people to move and respond to certain things.
Or stay home and take their UBI payments, their universal basic income, and let the robots do all the work for us. It's for their own good.
Elon should do his Tesla DAO and let everybody in on the profits. That'll be when people will happily step aside for all the robots taking over all the work. So, okay.
Why would he do that if the government would pay for it?
Well, that's the point. That is the government. It would be the government, corporate government. Well, anyway.
Why don't we just get a centralized central bank digital currency?
Yeah.
Get everybody a blockchain wallet that they need in order to buy or sell in the country. Mm-hmm. Give them a universal basic income every month. Let the robots do all the work.
Right.
And then as long as the humans follow the rules and do what the government tells them, they'll be fine. They'll have a nice, simple, happy life. But if they don't, then we'll throw them into the gladiator pit where they need to battle the defunct, violent robots. And that is how you build a society, folks. I don't know about all this democracy stuff.
They got to fight. They got to fight the zombie deer. They get to ride wild horses, though. All right, let's move on here.
5th gen warfare. All right, let's get into the next one.
They're targeting you. They're targeting you.
5th gen warfare.
All right. As part of 5th generation warfare here, and really it's PSYOP, but PSYOP is becoming almost obsolete because everything is a PSYOP, so it's kind of hard to call it that nowadays, but
everything is a PSYOP.
Vice.
Your mom, your dad, your IOP.
Scientists explain why doing your own research leads to believing conspiracies.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Look, I could have told you this.
Yeah.
It's so on one hand, just on the headline, on one hand, it seems like, here we go. Oh, here we go, guys. Let's see how they spin this one. But on the other hand, it's absolutely demonstrably true. That's the point of doing your own research, is because you're not going to get corroborative information from a system that is designed to keep the truth from you. That is its core principle, is to keep the true stuff out of your eyesight so you won't see the establishment conspiring behind your back. Vice, we can all agree with your headline. Scientists, it's not even, here's what we found. It's scientists explain why. Doing your own research leads to believing conspiracies. You don't need a scientist to explain that doing your own research will lead you to believing conspiracies. That's the whole point.
We have hit critical mass here, I think, where so many people are distrusting of the traditional mainstream apparatus that they have to face the facts, but they can tell people how they don't like it. It's like it's telling the truth of what's going on, but it's almost like the sports analogy again. If you have two cities battling it out, the headline for, let's say, like the Lakers versus the Boston Celtics, that just happened. Lakers lost on Christmas Day. And, in LA, it might be like, Lakers failed to blah, 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 blah. But in Boston, it'll be like, the Celtics demolished the Lakers. It's like a perspective thing. So,
well, yeah, I mean, see, and this is a beautiful headline because it's real. It's not like the Daily Mail. There's no attack. There's no assaults. There's no blood trail. There's no nothing. It's a very simple phrase. Scientists explain why doing your own research leads to believing conspiracy theories. They're literally saying scientists explain why reading a book will lead you to information in that book.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, okay.
But the inner trigger,
the inner trigger.
The psyop is so strong that a sort of objectively neutral statement immediately triggers as negative.
Right.
That's the beauty of the psyop here, is they can make a completely neutral statement, honestly, like agreeing with the fact of doing your own research leads you to truth, but the words used in the headline are so programmed into certain categories in our brains already that it automatically reads as negative.
Yeah, and also the outlet, I think, has something to do with the triggering.
Right.
If this was on New York Post, you might get a completely different reaction from.
Yeah, you would just naturally have a different reaction.
Right.
These are good things to keep in mind as you navigate the news ecosphere, folks. It's not like a big world-shattering revelation, but it's good to observe in yourself.
Yeah.
Vice having a headline saying scientists explain why doing your own research leads to believing conspiracies automatically puts you in, oh, here we go. Oh, here you go.
What's interesting? That was my first response when I read the headline. Yeah. I'd been away from the computer for about a week, and my first response was like, oh, there's another one. And it took me a second to be like, wait a minute. Hold on. But then after I read the thing, that goes back to my original kind of feeling. But
exactly.
We'll get there.
It's designed that way. And not just in this one particular instance. The whole system is designed to control you that way. They want to spark your triggers at the very first headline. And yes, the outlet's a big part of that. The blatancy of an objective statement or a sort of flowery, poetic, murderous statement like the Daily Mail. And again, this is not earth-shattering. This is just something as you go along your day to observe it as it happens, because it can be pretty eye-opening as to the sort of media ecosphere that we swim in all day long. This is happening to us hundreds of times a day. And recognizing it when it does happen can really bring you some sanity. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a moment to experience sanity in the face of something that is designed to make you feel insane.
Yes. Okay, let's see. The article here states, if you've ever found it puzzling that do your own research is a slogan for conspiracy theorists of all stripes, new research may have some answers. While conventional wisdom holds that researching the veracity of fake news would reduce belief in misinformation. So already already we are seeing the presuppositions here, the assumptions of the scientists doing the research themselves. They are coming at this not completely neutral. They're coming at it already with some filters and categories of what is true, what is false news, and all this kind of stuff.
The assumption is if you have to seek out the information, it is misinformation.
Right.
If it's not what's given to you on a silver platter, then it is fake. That's the presupposition of this entire article.
Right. While conventional wisdom holds that researching the veracity of fake news would reduce belief in misinformation, a study published on Wednesday in Nature has found that using online search engines to vet conspiracies can actually increase the chance that someone will believe it.
Oh my gosh.
Really? Is that because they come across information that is not shared by those who would not want you to know about it? The researchers point to a known problem in search called data voids. Oh, hold on. Let me do the whole thing here. Let's see. Data voids. Sometimes
weak. You can pump it up a little bit.
Data voids.
There it is.
Okay. Sometimes there's not a lot of high-quality information to counter misleading headlines or surrounding fringe theories. There's not a lot of high-quality info to counter those misleading headlines or fringe theories, Basil.
Exactly. That's the point. The information trying to tell you a conspiracy is not true is high quality.
Yeah. So when someone sees an article online about an engineered famine due to COVID-19 lockdowns and vaccines and conducts an unsophisticated search based on those keywords, they may find articles that reaffirm their bias. Okay. Should I keep reading this? I do want to touch on...
Just real quick, just to make a comment about that point. I'm sorry, our
connection is bad.
Our connection is not great, so Gonz and I are going to be talking over each other a little bit, and we apologize for that. We try not to do that. But again, it's making the point that doing your own research in sort of a surface level just means Google searching the conspiracy theory, which is not giving credit to, I believe, 99% of people doing their own research. There's the joke of doing your own research, which just means watching YouTube videos of other people who did their own research.
Right.
We've talked about that. That's, it is what it is, but it's not the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Google searching the exact words of a conspiracy theory, also not a great way to go about that. And we all know that sort of inherently if you've been in this space for any amount of time. And here on this show, and, our talented and smart producers know that doing your own research at best means finding prime sources, finding the documents, finding the clips coming out of the people's mouths, stuff like that. And a good example would be, the Great Reset. So if you search Great Reset on Google, you're going to find a billion blog posts on a billion crazy blogs.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's, I don't know. I can't vouch for any of those.
I mean, that's
sort of kind of what they're
Sorry. Go ahead.
That's what they're saying here is, hey, you search Great Reset, you're going to get a bunch of crazy people and read crazy people stuff. And what they're not admitting or not talking about is how doing your own research means, oh, look at this, a book by Klaus Schwab talking about the Great Reset. These clips of Klaus Schwab in his own voice telling us about the Great Reset, the brochure from the World Economic Forum talking about the scary details of the Great Reset. That's prime sourcing, and that's doing your own research.
Yeah. Sorry, you were cutting out a little bit, so it's hard to understand some parts of what you're saying. But let's see here. They mentioned COVID here, and let me just read a couple more. There's a quote here. The question here was, what happens when people encounter an article online? They're not sure if it's true or false, and so they go look for more information about it using a search engine. Joshua Tucker, co-author and co-director of NYU's Center for Social Media and Politics, told Motherboard, quote, "You see exactly this kind of suggestion in a lot of digital literacy guides." Probably, stuff that we've covered on the show. In particular, Tucker explained their research team was interested in knowing how people verify news that's just happened and hasn't yet had a chance to be verified by fact checkers like Snopes or PolitiFact.
Oh my gosh.
You know what's interesting, though? This study just basically took place during COVID. They started in late 2019. And so they have all this data from late 2019 through 2020. And 2021. It's a very interesting time to do this type of study. But I want, instead of doing the Vice and just reading through everything, I went to the nature.com article. It is titled, this is the actual study here, "Online searches to evaluate misinformation can increase its perceived veracity." Oh,
so you went straight to the prime source.
Yes.
You did your own research about doing your own research.
I don't think I'm supposed to do this. Is this a sin for the Vice editors over there? They did link it, though, so at least, maybe they are suggesting we should do it. And it says here that considerable scholarly attention has been paid to understanding belief in online misinformation with a particular focus on social networks. However, the dominant role of search engines in the information environment remains underexplored, even though the use of online search to evaluate the veracity of information is a central component of media literacy interventions. Although conventional wisdom suggests that searching online while evaluating misinfo would reduce belief in it, there is little empirical evidence to evaluate this claim. Here, across 5 experiments, we present consistent evidence that online search to evaluate the truthfulness of false news articles actually increases the probability of believing them. To shed light on this relationship, we combine survey data with digital trace data collected using a custom browser extension, as if no browser extension is doing digital tracing of all of our stuff. We find that the search effect is concentrated among individuals for whom search engines return lower quality information. Now, what is that? Who gets to determine what lower quality information is? Yeah. All right. Our results indicate that those who search online to evaluate misinformation risk falling into data voids or informational spaces in which there is corroborating evidence from low-quality sources. So what he's talking about is what you just mentioned. You go online, you search something, you see 5 different blogs from, somewhat, conservative alt influencers or whatever, and they're all saying the same thing. Oh, it must be true then. That's what they're saying, sort of a confirmation bias that they can find on the internet. We also find, were you going to comment on that?
I just can't help but think about this in the other way around when it comes to Russiagate and the P-tapes and all the literal democratic conspiracy theories that were false, have been proven to have, the Steele dossier. There are people in jail connected to Hillary Clinton for creating misinformation. And that misinformation was reported on all the mainstream news outlets, and that's mainstream news outlets carrying misinformation. And that, of course, is never included in these conversations.
Yeah. Okay, we also find consistent evidence that searching online to evaluate news increases belief in... Oh, this was interesting. Okay, let me start over because it does kind of you got to kind of sit down and relax to take this all in. We also find consistent evidence that searching online to evaluate news, is that something we do, Basil? Do we evaluate news online? Okay.
That's most of what we do.
Yeah. It increases belief in true news from low quality sources.
What? Okay, hold on.
I know, right?
We also find consistent evidence that searching online to evaluate news increases belief in true news from low quality sources.
Yeah.
but inconsistent evidence that it increases belief in true news from mainstream sources. So they are literally saying those who do good research to evaluate news believe the truth from non-mainstream sources. It is true. They believe it. It's in non-mainstream sources. But then
the same news coming from mainstream, it did not move the needle when it comes to more believability of true news coming from mainstream sources.
I think that's very interesting. That shows the crashing and burning of the mainstream news.
Yeah.
I mean, that now it's actually obvious.
Right.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
They're saying even when the mainstream has so abused their job of providing truth, they have so dropped the ball that even when they do put out true stuff, people need it. They need to corroborate
from
mainstream true news with low quality
sources in quotations.
They're using the quote low quality sources to fact check the mainstream because the mainstream is so abysmally trustworthy.
Our findings highlight the need for media literacy programs to ground their recommendations in empirically tested strategies and for search engines to invest in solutions to the challenges identified here. So
they're just saying we need to have Google only point to mainstream news.
Yeah. So I found this whole thing problematic in that, again, you look at the presuppositions. What are they assuming before coming into the conversation or the research? And that's important to analyze just as much as the actual analysis they do. Because how you label things as scientists and experiments matters when it comes to that stuff. Just to read a quick part here, this gap in research is particularly evident in our limited understanding of the effect of search engines. Although recent research has explored the potential partisan biases of search engine results, relatively little is known about the fundamental but understudied question of how searching online to evaluate news. They have a new acronym, Basil. SOTEN, SOTEN, searching online to evaluate news. SOTEN impacts belief in misinformation. And they use SOTEN throughout this study where they're like, examining SOTEN. They're searching online.
That is bizarre. So Vice, the spirit of what Vice is presenting about this study is really not even in the spirit of the study.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's not a surprise. But yeah, so there you go. I mean, this whole thing, it reflects both a reality of where we are, socially as a society, especially in America right now, and going into 2024, these issues will become just so blatant. Politicians will pick up on various things, and as Vivek Ramaswamy has been doing, he's been doing a good job of picking up on some of these talking points and making it part of his whole campaign there. I'm suspicious of everyone. You know me. I can't support anybody, Basil. It's going to be tough for people to tune in. Well, they'll tune in because we'll just poop on everyone, I guess. But
no, we're not going to poop on anybody. We're going to do the research on everyone. Dude,
we will find the dirt, Basil. We got to spread the dirt.
Dude, back to the Vice real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a quote. The 4 most dangerous words are do your own research,
I saw that.
Said Shah.
Yeah.
Quote, it seems counterintuitive because I'm an educator and we encourage students to do this.
Yeah.
Do you? The problem is people don't know how to do this.
Oh.
Digital literacy curricula shouldn't just say to search, but instead offer advice on how to search. I think Vice is telling people to listen to Canary Cry News Talk.
I think that's it.
I think Vice right here is saying that Canary Cry News Talk is a much needed digital literacy curricula, teaching people how to, find true news in untrusted sources and not trust the mainstream.
It's funny
it is really crazy doublespeak, man.
It is.
They've got this absolutely wild doublespeak going on, and they are pros at it, aren't they?
They're so good. They're so good at it. Even in the face of the loss, the L, they're just basically saying that we took an L, but they're like bending it into a W. for themselves in the
They're
mainstream,
trying pretty hard.
media context there. Yeah, we'll continue to do our thing, and not that we have everything figured out, but it's just one of those things where the more people just think critically about how media operates, the better. And this professor or scientist or whoever that was being quoted there, it's just one more sports analogy. Let's say you're a 3-point shooting specialist, Basil. You're good behind the arc, and then you see a young buck coming, and he's really good. He's got really good. You don't want to lose your spot on the team, but this young guy is really good at the 3-pointer as well. Well, you give him some tips, right? You change his form. You're like, you're doing it wrong. You don't know how. You want to get better at shooting. You got to figure out how to do it. That's what this professor sounds like he's doing. He doesn't like the fact that people are coming to conclusions that are not favorable to him, and so he's attacking the how.
He's telling the truth. He just wants to control how people respond to it.
Right.
That's the crazy part about it. I was talking to a producer, somebody I know in real life who is also a producer of the show, and they were suggesting we put together some like very short, succinct video classes specifically on the strategies that we use to do the research and then analyze it. We're always dropping things like, prime sources, straw man, steel man, these types of things. And he was suggesting that we do put a little course together for 10, 15-minute videos that people can just kind of make their way through. Because I think I think Vice is sort of confirming something we've known, but haven't sort of fully met our potential on, which is digital literacy sort of education. And it's funny because the truthy people, they are on board. Everybody wants digital literacy education. And the problem is all digital literacy education curriculum is being put together by these dumb arbiters of truth lizard people.
Yeah, all the institutionalized governments and it's not the independent people that are coming up with the strategies.
We got to put together a super educational, super, legit, straightforward little 10-minute, 15-minute videos in a class that actually equips people quickly and specifically, that doesn't take sort of listening to 10 hours of podcasts every week for years to sort of ingest.
Real quickly here, we got to squeeze this in.
Toilets!
We'll control them with toileting.
Oh yeah, this is great. A little bit of a told you so. Again, all the tools we've talked about led us to identify the sewer surveillance years ahead of the rest of the crowd. And this is part of where inevitably we said it would go. This is coming from KRQE. It's a local news, I believe, in New Mexico. And it says here, the state, talking about New Mexico, has started testing wastewater at 24 high schools in the metro for illicit drugs. This comes after Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's Grisham's public health. Okay, I don't know what's up with Grisham's public health, but according to the data, 7 out of 24 schools detected fentanyl and its metabolite, and 21 out of 24 detected cocaine and its metabolite. It's a lot of cocaine in high schools. Quote,
kids these days, man, those kids.
These findings show that communities around Albuquerque or the Albuquerque community, and similar to Rio Rancho, widespread cocaine usage. The state did say that it is not possible to determine whether the drugs are the result of legal drug use or illicit drug use.
Wait a minute. Hold.
It's legal cocaine.
Legal cocaine? Okay. All right. Good.
It's legal cocaine. They can't tell either way.
Got it.
Officials said they plan to continue testing at every public high school in the state. To see the results, follow this link. And I went digging into this a little bit more, specifically on the way they were doing this. And what they would do is they would test the wastewater samples of a single school multiple times, once an hour they would test it.
Gee.
And they would find these
Traces,
drugs,
yeah.
and it was kind of throughout the day. I mean, this was an all-day constant sewer surveillance of the high school. And people are like, okay, well, what's the problem here? We need to know if our kids are on drugs. Here, I'll tell you this. If your kid goes to public school, they're probably on drugs, or they know somebody who's on drugs. So that should not come as a surprise. But what I think would come as a surprise to people is, as this continues, you say, okay, well, they can't tell who's doing it. They can't, pinpoint. They can't get up all in your privacy. They already are. If they're testing,
this website.
If they're testing,
I'm at the website. They have they have these little circle graphs here, and it has how heroin and its metabolite not detected at all. Fentanyl, a little bit, maybe like about 25%, a little less, but then cocaine, like boom.
Cocaine,
and then they have
they
have the overhead map with the nodes, like the
whoever's
the cocaine nodes.
It shows Albuquerque has got they
got
real
a coke little
solid
hub going on.
Dealer is really making some money there. But the point is, if they're testing every hour, that means they can test
every second,
every minute. Yeah, every second, every minute. And what do you do then? Well, if you get a flush that comes by and it tests positive for cocaine, or maybe it's not cocaine, maybe it's COVID, maybe it's proteins, animal proteins
CWD.
above your your
you consumed meat, you horrific
your carbon
individual
usage.
Yeah,
they can tell not just the drugs you're taking, but what you're eating, what sicknesses you have. Are you on birth control? Are you pregnant? Are you all these pieces of information come from sewer surveillance. And if they're testing sort of frequently enough, all you do is boom, we got a cocaine hit. Okay, let's look at the camera footage. Oh, it's this kid walking out of the bathroom
right
at the exact moment. I mean, at this exact moment, sure. Is it going to help somebody politically to make a big deal about the drug use in Albuquerque? Yes. But one more again, you just extend it out to not even its end point.
Are you still there? Uh-oh.
Just the literal next logical step. There's just one step more with your minute by minute sewer surveillance, and boom, there you go. You've got the biggest problem with privacy, not only dealing with the privacy of being on camera or doing drugs, but it's not what you're doing outside your body being surveilled. It's literally the chemicals inside your body being surveilled, the processes, the things you eat, your hormones, all these things. They now have an intimate view into the inside of your body, not just the outside of your body. So this is concerning, and of course it's happening in widespread in New Mexico. And if New Mexico is coming public with this, then there's plenty of other states that are doing the same.
I have an idea for artists to come up with something. Alex Jones' new product, Infowars diapers. Don't let the government surveil your waste.
Yes.
The whole thing.
Yeah, and they're highly flammable.
Yeah.
So
right. So you can dispose of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to dispose. You just set it on fire and boom, it's gone.
Or you can get the whole package, the whole Infowars outhouse.
Deal.
Man, we're just full of ideas.
Antifa, using them and then using them as sort of fire bombs on federal buildings.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, let's thank some producers. We got a time thing going on here.
End of the year.
End of the
show.
Time.
Okay, let me take 1 second. Let me run through the list of the final financial producers for the year of 2023. It's a short list, and we thank them very much. Ready?
Yep.
Starting off with Marja S. or Marja. Thank you very much. Nice round number. Won't disclose it. Next up, we got producer Julie S. coming in.
Thank you, Julie S. Good to see you.
Nice round number. Appreciate that, Julie. We got producer Ebony F. coming in for 26.25.
Thank you, Ebony F. Appreciate it.
Yeah. We got Palmer C coming in for a nice round number.
Thank you, Palmer C.
Palmer C. This Palmer C is on at least a 2-episode streak. Thank you, Palmer.
At least a 2-episode. Oh, let me get that all prepared. Sorry. Some of this is
not. A little
not.
note here while you do that. A little note from Palmer C. He says, Canary.
Wow, connection is really bad.
Yeah, they're trying to end the show on our behalf.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Joe G sent us those silver coins. Huh?
That's right, Joe G. Thank you, Joe G. Appreciate the coins. They're very cool coins here. Let me just read the note. It's thank you, Basil and Gons. Thank you so much for another year of excellent content and Christian perspectives on news media deconstruction. Between moving your family to a new city and spending weeks in the hospital grasping to life, it's been a tough year for you two and the show. Yet you have maintained unwavering devotion to perform this public service and still stream a show 3 times a week. What an incredible value you provide. Well, thank you so much. To thank you and to commemorate all the struggles and victories in 2023, I'm sending you each a silver coin. I pray for continued physical, mental, and spiritual support for you and all Canarians so that we can enjoy Canary Cry for years to come. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year with love in Jesus Christ, Joe G. Thank you, Joe G.
Wow, Joe G. That's incredibly special. And yes, it makes me feel very seen and appreciated to recognize that 2023 was the most difficult year that we've ever had, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I'm kind of happy that it's ending. But I have the image of the coins he sent us on the screen here. I will give you an Illuminatus for that one, Joe G.
Illuminatus!
On one side of the silver coin is the infinity, the Ouroboros, but it's in the infinity symbol. It's not the circle, snake eating its tail, but it's the figure 8 infinity sign. And on the other side is the all-seeing eye, Anu Septus.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
It's like the most Illuminatus silver coin one can ask for. So thank you very much.
That's great. Yeah. Joe G, thank you so much. What a fun and meaningful gift, and what a wonderful, heartwarming note. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Okay. That concludes the list of financial producers who came in under executive amount, but over 777, which entitles them to have a note read on the show. Just a few more people to thank for their streaks, and we're off.
All right.
Starting with Dr. Who Done Dat, 40 episodes in a row.
Thank you, Dr. Who Done Dat.
Malik, and I lost Malik's streak. I'm sorry. We got to figure out your streak.
Malik. Streaking Malik.
Sir Moore of Night of the Burning Chariots, 314.
Thank you, Sir Moore.
Veronica D, 343.
Thank you, Veronica D.
Dame Gale, 337.
Thank you, Dame Gale.
Sir Scott, 368.
Thank you, Sir Scott.
And Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Oh yeah, Streakalicious. That's right, 383 shows in a row. Thank you very much to all of our streakers. You're incredible. Thank you to everybody who supported this show financially. Remember, it's not every person has to produce every show. It's just what value are you getting from the show, from the community, from the archives, from the research, all of it. If this community brings any value to you, you are invited to put value back in. You decide the value, you decide the form, and you get involved. It's the only way we survived this year. It really was our most difficult year ever, and the producers are the reason why we made it through. And you can go to canarycry.support to learn more.
Yep. Real quickly, let's thank some producers for their talent as well. Okay. It's not just the treasure, it's also the talent that really helps us build the culture behind the community here. So if you have any God-given talent and you get value out of the show, you can provide value back by sharing your talent here. And we're going to start off with a couple pieces of audio production.
Audio production.
And the first piece here we have is from Jonathan F.
Jonathan F.
A little bit late here. Apologies for that, but it's still Christmas week, I suppose.
Yeah.
Here's Rochelle's version of the 12 Days of Canary Cry Christmas.
Ooh.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my normie gave to me 12 cubbies re-educating 11 birds and investigating. 10 sorcerers asserting. 9 Babylons burning. 8 Podfathers casting. 7 Trudeau's mansplaining. 6 suckers forfeiting. 5 Elon's cage fighting. 4 Bitcoins mining. 3 brains of washing. 2 Biden's bumping. And a flippy to trim my tree.
Wow, Robot Rochelle.
Robot.
That was a lot of work.
I hope it was she just threw the audio file into the little thing there and then just let the algos take care of it, and it wasn't a manual job. But
manual job would have been tough, but I guess there might be AI that would have matched that up, huh?
Well, I mean, just some of the processing, the plugins and stuff they got now. It's there's an automated feature there. So, but hey, it's a roboticized version is always fun to hear. So thank you very much for that, Jonathan.
Love it. Thank you very much, Jonathan F.
Next up, we have Little Owen here. This is a minute and 16 seconds. It's a Basil Gans satellite mashup.
Do I like the robots? Do I not like the robots? Do I like the robots? Do I not like the robots? Capturing space debris, cleaning it up, enforcing things like this. And so I thought to myself, surely they will talk about Flippy, the robotic arm, who is now sort of charged with cleaning up suborbital satellites. But no.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah. Play the whole thing at the end of the show. Always fun. I always like Little Owen.
That's fun.
And the vibe.
Nice vibes. Thank you.
Thank you, Little Owen. Okay, let's do some art.
One art, please.
Start off with Sir Dove.
One art piece from Dove.
Woo. That is loud in my ears. Sir Dove has a note here. Peace. Was looking at last year's calendar this week and saw Ebony Blaze use the Santa Claus artwork I did a couple years ago for the Christmas date and thought it'd be a good time to bring that character back around. So I made a bootleg card that the Canarians on the email list can print out and tape, staple, or glue together to give to their loved ones this holiday season. Hope you guys like it. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep praying for Yins. It's too late, but you can save it for next year, I suppose.
No, we'll put it on the website. Yeah, this is the Santa Claus, which is Klaus Schwab as Santa. The front of the card is opening on my computer right now and is sort of a blue Christmassy background with Klaus with his Santa hat on. He said he's making a list. He's checking it twice. And then you open up the card, and of course, there's more great stuff that's being pulled up on my computer right now. And it says this. It's also got Klaus. He's got a funny look on his face. And it's, you get nothing if you've been naughty, and nothing if you've been nice. Happy holidays from Santa Claus. I don't see why anybody would have a problem with this. I think this is great. Thank you very much, Sir Duff.
Thank you, Sir Duff. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll make this available. We've been sort of in the past. We've built up, the Canary Cry Valentine's Day cards, the Canary Cry bingo cards. It's just a matter of putting it there and let it build over the years.
Yep. And eventually we can put it all in one place and get it all clean and all that kind of jazz. Thank you very much, Sir Dove. We also had I guess it was an addition from Sir Darren. It was the Basil side of the duo.
Yeah, so he didn't send a note, so I'm not exactly sure exactly why. I'm assuming he sent this. It's the race car Basil sort of separated, so we could use it for thumbnails, or maybe I can use it as a profile picture, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was just the thumbnail thing. Yep.
But it's beautiful. It's a beautifully done race car Basil with googly eyes. Thank you very much, Sir Darren.
Thank you, Sir Darren. Okay, and we also have something from Silas, 10-year-old son of one lousy petunia. And
yes, this was great. Silas, wonderful job, producer Silas. He made a great scene here of Basil and Gons doing the podcast. We've got Canary Cry News Talk in the sort of vaporwave style up in the top left. It's looks like a combination of pen and marker, I would guess. And you've got Basil and Gons in canary form, yellow canary, cute little bird form, wearing T-shirts, the Canary Cry T-shirt. Of course, we got googly eyes and a VR headset on Basil on the left. On the right, we got Gon sitting in front of the computer, making it all happen. He's also got googly eyes. No reason Gons can't have googly eyes either. With his glasses, his prayer hat, his headphones on, and up in the corner it says, "Chirp, chirp, 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 chirp. Welcome to Canary Cry News Talk." I love it. Thank you very much, Silas.
Thank you, Silas.
It was the headline image on the email today.
Yeah, love it. Love it. And I can see the whiteout use too. I don't know if that was on purpose or if that's part of the art, but I think it looks great. Yeah, it just gives it that edge. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much, Silas. Appreciate it. Let's see. We have a couple microfictions. A few, actually.
Microfiction.
Tyler.
Microfiction.
This first one is from Wrong Smash. He's returned.
Elsewhere, the corpulent cyborg, sand dripping from his lips, summons the entertainment demons to work his unholy revenge. The glitches in the largest grow more frequent, and his tongue wags wildly as the Starman seals the deal.
Ooh, the Starman.
The Starman. I'm going to have to go back and catch up where Runk Smash left off there. Because it sounds awesome.
Yeah, there's more coming from Runk Smash, too. He did a batch. So thank you for that. Runk Smash. Next up, we have Stefan S.
On her Hex Hacks channel, Nadia bragged about her new street creds, an honorary doctorate degree in news deconstruction from the University of Exeter School of Occult Science. Keep an eye on me on CNN and NBR for your next tips in spicy psychology. That's great. That's, of course, in regards to the Exeter School of Occult Sciences and their master's degree, but also our prediction that experts in occult and magic and myth and thing like that will become a more common occurrence on mainstream media, bringing the occult, magical, or mythological analysis to news stories. It's already started, folks. 2024, that's the year.
On the site here, University of Exeter, on that MA Magic and Occult Sciences page, and there's a little chat. You know how some websites, or most websites now, have a little chat bot that talks to you? Well, this one says, Leo, postgraduate, want to find out more about student life? Chat with our student ambassador. Chat with our students. I want to know, maybe I should, if I had more time, I'd chat with this fella on air and find out more about what he knows about the Magic and Occult Sciences department.
There's no way that that's not just an AI.
100.
There's no possible
100.
way that they have a postgraduate
just sitting there,
sitting on a chat room to talk to whoever is on the website.
And of course, the only people prompting is people like us. Okay. We have one more coming from Jolmes. Jolmes is jumping into the fray here. So here we go.
Yeah, we've got another series from Jolmes here. A worm jump to such a distant quadrant would be a strain on the fuel tanks, but she'd seen herself through emptier reserves. Outside the wrecked hub, the drones re-engage their scanners. Heat sigs, signal, triangulation, vibration, anything. They fail to notice a suspicious blob of swimming metal angling down away from them. Suspicious for a human, that is. Very suspicious. Thank you, Jones.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
And that concludes our list of very talented producers building the culture, involving themselves in what's going on here. And you can do it too, folks. You don't need to be a pro. You just got to be willing. Create some art for us. It could be music, jingles, graphic art, microfictions, whatever. You can also choose what to make. All these categories were created by producers. We did not create the categories. So if you got something you want to make, remember, it's just getting involved and creating a well-rounded experiential culture for all the listeners. And hey, I'll tell you this, we have now had several artists just start making stuff for the show and do it regularly and have absolutely mastered a craft that they were just, kind of messing around with before. So thank you to all the artists, and become one by going to canarycry.art. You can upload your art there and make sure it gets on the show.
Yep.
While you're at it, if you have any articles you'd like us to take a look at for the show, you can go to canarycry.report and let us know about it there, and we'll consider it for the show.
Yep. I just want to touch on this real quick before we wrap the show up.
Are you ready to become cyborg?
Very quickly here. This is coming from Star Insider, or Stars Insider, mirrored on MSN, and the headline here is "The Disturbing Instagram Face Trend." And this is something that I've been noticing for a long time, and it's interesting to finally see it as part of a mainstream article, because it was something that I was going to actually start. I think it was the Age of Deceit 2. I think it was 2. Maybe it was 3. I had the idea of starting the whole film off talking about plastic surgery and how that is a major part of moving us into the transhuman world. And it's pretty obvious, but, I was trying to articulate all that. But, just wait a few years and mainstream will pick it up. Here it is. It says here, the viral trend where influencers demonstrate how the same picture looks without careful lighting, makeup, filters, and apps like FaceTime, dubbed Instagram versus reality, shows the smoke and mirrors that go into creating these unrealistic images. I am on the wrong thing here. Hold on. Let me refresh. That is panel number 28 out of 30. I want to be on 1. How come it's on 28? What is going on here?
It started mine at 28. You must have input the link.
I'm looking
when
at this
you were
here.
on 28.
Let me see. Let me get rid of some of these extra things in the thing. Oh, no. Maybe I can go to 1. Let's see. 0, 1. How about that? No, that didn't work.
I had it back to 1.
Oh, wait, maybe I can just, I guess I can just click through here. Okay, all right, let's just click it. Okay, all right, here we go. The disturbing Instagram face trend. Scrolling through social media is different for everyone depending on that pesky algorithm. However, no matter how varied your feed, it's unlikely you'll escape the Instagram face trend, even if you didn't know it had a name. Mostly because that beauty look has jumped out of the screen via filters and contouring and into our everyday life through the normalization of injectables and surgical procedures. But does everyone want to look the same? And even if you can, should you? Okay, and then it shows a bunch of celebrities. Cyborg society. Gradually, over the past decade or so, a cyborgian face has become the norm as you look through social media. This Instagram aesthetic encourages a sameness in its beauty standards. And it goes into some of the features here. The link is in the description. You guys can, kind of walk your way through the whole article yourself. But it's an interesting thing, and
it's just, yeah. So it's talking about how it started with women getting the lip filters.
Right.
I'm sorry, the lip injections.
Yes.
This kind of became very popular a few years ago. But then in response, the started with Snapchat, who invented filters and then spread to all the other apps, where you can put your face through a filter. And those beauty filters were based on the lip fillers and the cheekbone injections and stuff like that. And so there's this cycle where, because the lip fillers and stuff were popular, they got made into a filter, and then everybody started filtering their own face on a regular basis to just see themselves in a very specific beauty standard that is fairly new. And then that caused women to want to make that filter real. So it's sort of this very strange cycle from sort of experimental beauty treatment to the filter that everybody, makes you look just a little bit more attractive because it messes with your cheekbones
Masks,
and your lips.
Yeah, different things. Yeah.
And then it's just exploded the sort of beauty trends of then making that filter real. Like women walking in to plastic surgeons with a picture of their face with a beauty filter and saying, give me this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make the filter real.
Most modeling is kind of acting like a
beast,
but making it fashion.
Beast.
But then make it fashion.
This article has a bunch of, the Botox images. So there's needles up to women's lips.
It's all stock images.
Ultimately, what this has to do with is what I think is written or was told to us in the book of Enoch there about the Watchers teaching women how to do makeup and all that kind of stuff. And it seems that this is just the 2020s or 21st century version of that. And they have a very powerful medium to facilitate that.
Yeah.
Something maybe, that was just reserved to a mirror throughout history. The wealthy people that had mirrors, but now everyone has a filter on their phone.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting. The thing that I find relevant to what we talk about with beast fashion is, in this case, beauty standards, they've always been, making people feel inadequate. And they always want to look like the celebrity, but it used to be celebrity driven.
Yeah.
Celebrity, magazines, movies, that. But now these beauty standards are driven by technocrats.
Yep.
It's driven by Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley has set the beauty standard instead of celebrities, Hollywood, and magazines. So you talk about the technocratic future dystopia. It's not just that people want to look more beautiful and they have lots of technological ways to change their face to do that. It's that the nerds in Silicon Valley are the ones choosing what is beautiful. And, there's been a pushback. I mean, all the feminism, all of this, all of that, pushing back against beauty standards for, especially the last decade. And yet here we are again, the technocratic wizards who have all of our lives in their grasp by showing us a future that doesn't quite exist yet, but that we can all aspire to. Those are the ones who are controlling what little girls want to look like.
Yeah.
And it's, even after all the activism, it's worse than it ever was.
I think maybe that the activism was to cover up the fact that it was going to get that bad, maybe. Or at least keep people distracted while, all this was still going on, which is something that I think all of us observed, But, okay, there you go. Just wanted to touch on it because it's an interesting topic, and definitely go through that if you are interested in learning more about some of that. So,
yeah, remember, all these sources are delivered straight to you. You can find them in your email box by jumping on the newsletter, which I recommend everybody do. We had a nice big boost in the newsletter signups recently. I like to think it's because we improved our newsletter in the past couple months here. So go sign up for that if you do not have it. And when you do get it, remember to search for it the first couple times, because the email providers, they only deliver our emails to your inbox 20% of the time. That's an exact number. So you got to star it, you got to open it, you got to respond to it, you got to tell your algos that you want to get that once they come. And thank you to all our producers. No matter what way you got involved in 2023 with the show, it means a whole lot. We're only here because of you. And this is the last announcement for the Canary Cry calendar. Everybody wants the calendar. Get the calendar. You can get the calendar by signing up for Canary Cry Babysitters Club or the Supply Drop at canarycrysupply.com or canarycrybabysittersclub.com. You will receive the calendar as a thank you for that. Or you've got 2 more days to executive produce the show. We'll be thanking you on Jan 1 for those producers, and then the calendars will start a-printing. And if you are unable to do either of those things, go to your newsletter. There's a button that says get on the pass it forward list, pass it on list. Click that button, put yourself on the list, and people on that list will be receiving the calendar for those who paid it forward. And between Jamie G and Cyril X Protocol, V2 Night of the Berean Protocol, there's a lot of these calendars going out, folks. So if you want one, go sign up.
All right.
Other than that, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Thank you. I want to thank our producers who help out with their time, especially the time stampers.
Time stampers.
Time stamp. It's hard work. Time stamp.
Yeah. I'm lost on this new document, Gons. Do you know who our last time stamper was?
Yeah, it was. Let me just double check here. Where's my... Why isn't it showing me who it was? I believe it was Ebony Blaze, but I could be wrong. It's not really
okay.
It's usually, you know how it tells me who edited the timestamp doc? Not telling me. Not telling me on
Are
this
you sure you're on the right
I'm on the
episode 700.
Yeah.
700 says Morgan E on the document.
Okay.
Yeah.
It usually shows me on the actual timestamp doc, like who edited
I hear
it,
you.
but it's not showing me for some reason.
Well, thank you to whoever did it.
It's either Ebony Blaze
I think it was Morgan E.
Morgan
Thank you very
E.
much, Morgan E. Thank you to Jam for the links. Thank you to Clank for clanking. I'm glad life has settled down there, Clank. And other than that, share the show, folks. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it on your social media. Truly, that's very helpful. The more of those links go out, the more the algos help other people see it. It doesn't matter if you don't have any followers. It doesn't matter. Post links to your favorite show. You gotta do it. But you don't have to do it those same old ways. You don't have to wrap it up in paper and bows and put it under the tree and then open it on Christmas morning, although that's always a great Christmas gift. You can share it in a way that expresses your unique capabilities as a child of God with the talents that were given to you. For instance, we got all these zombie deer out there, and there's a lot of worry about all the people becoming zombies, hunting and zombifying the deer. Well, what's better than a zombie deer? A zombie deer listening to Canary Cry News Talk. So go out on your next deer hunt, bring a big boombox with you, and play the podcast loudly out into the wilderness. What will you find? You'll find zombie deer. They'll be staring back at you with that empty, vacant look that zombie deer do, and they'll be so cute. It'll be very off-putting for you, but as they stand there staring through their blood-soaked eyes, they will be very confused about what's happening, and they will present themselves as extremely huntable animals. Then you can eat the zombie deer and not become a zombie, and you can tell everybody, hey, don't listen to the CDC. Go ahead, eat that deer, folks. It's good for you. You don't need factory-made deer. They're making steak out of human feces in Japan now. So that's the alternative.
Hey.
Zombie deer or feces steak. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But it's not my choice to make, folks. It's yours. You can share the show that way if you'd like. We call it rattling cages, and all you got to do is walk right up to him, grab him by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right. Just ask Noah. All right, Guns. You got any last words?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Oh,
we'll
no.
See ya
He said the forbidden
2-4.
phrase.
Oh, yeah, the forbidden phrase. Yeah, I'm an occultist now, apparently, because I wish. I can't even wish people.
You can't wish.
No.
You can't get lucky. You can't wish.
Yeah, can't get lucky.
Get out of here. Satan.
Yep. Flip the calendar,
But we
folks.
will see you.
Mm-hmm.
We will see you next in 2024. It'll kick off, man, oh, man, the crazy. If 2023 was the most difficult year for the show, 2024 promises to be the craziest.
Yep.
And we can only do it with you, folks.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.
We're all gonna die.
This is the United States of America, for God's sake. This is not about freedom or personal choice.
than anyone in the world.
Toilets!
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy!
Wives in the cosmos, children in the
space lane.
I'm an adult in a spaceship.
Supersonic space plane screamed to life and the vehicle swooped upward. On board, the passengers experienced 3 G's of force from the burst of extreme acceleration and watched the blue sky fade into space.
In the back have been cleared to unstrap.
Oh, yeah.
In the back have been cleared to unstrap.
Yes. Do it, Richard. Do it, Jeff. Do it for humanity.
To all you kids down there, I was once a child with a dream. Now I'm an adult in a spaceship.
He can accomplish it. You can too. Big windows, cool. Rocket ship, cool. Space plane, cool.
Nukes,
cool.
Blowing stuff up,
cool. Space plane, astronaut, rocket ship.
ABS anchor.
We have Bezos. Is a human. Just look at him. Go to the bathroom in bags. He can go to the bathroom in the cosmos. It changed everything. Wives in space. Children in the cosmos. With your best friend brother. Wives in the cosmos. Children in the space lane.
We are headed to space.
Not like the robots. Do I like the robots? Am I not like the robots? Capturing space debris, cleaning it up, enforcing things like this. And so I thought to myself, surely they will talk about Flippy, the robotic arm, who is now sort of charged with cleaning up suborbital satellites. But no. Yeah. But no. Yeah. So see the idea here. I know, folks, it gets confusing. Do I like the robots? Am I not like the robots? It's all part of the plan. It's all the plan. Yes. Part of the plan. You gotta keep them guessing. Yeah. Keep your enemies confused. But no. Yeah. But no. Yeah. Do I like the robots? Am I not like the robots? Collision risk. Do I like the robots? Talk about how I like the robots. Graveyard orbit.
Bye. I'm out of here. Bye.
Value for value. We take no money from corporations, commies, or cartels.
Canary cried, I suppose.